Alexa, ask Uber for a ride.
Okay. Alright. So I got this going. And welcome back. I know it's been a long time since I've been streaming. Yesterday I was talking to some friends on the Kerbal space program. I'm actually going to try and turn down the volume a bit here. I had this problem yesterday when I started Kerbal. The music. I just need to turn the music down to like 10%. Maybe even less than that. 5. Yeah. Master. Okay, good. Now I can hear myself talk, because yesterday I could barely even hear myself think. So yes, I'm back for a bit. It's difficult for me to find time to stream when I'm working, and I've been working some project-based jobs, which means that I'll have some time off in between them, basically until I find the next job. So now I'm still looking for a job, and I can hear myself, which is bad. No. I'm also trying to figure out this new Twitch dashboard. This is pretty insane. I'm not liking this new dashboard. There. Alright, now the echo should stop. It says I'm offline, but I can see myself in the thing. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. So yeah, since it's been a while, I really need to get used to these new features and stuff, so please let me know if something seems off, if it's just not working. I'm also a little annoyed that my camera, when I put myself in the corner there, that I look super washed out. It's been so long that I can't even remember my bot. It's not Nightbot. There we go. Oof. Most streamers don't start until they actually have all this set up. So you guys get to see a little bit behind the scenes. It's kind of like you have to get, in order to make everything work, you have to do it all, you have to do everything. Okay. So, Revlobot, you guys can go ahead and take a look at that. I've got it running now. So let's go ahead and get this going. Don't need the dashboard anymore. So we'll just go to the regular play thing so I can see what's going on here. Yes. The ads. Thank you, ads. I don't remember all the things. Oh well. I still have 49 characters for my shout out tweet here. Let's see. Oh, I did save all this information. There we go. Yes, I am a Kerbal noob, so you guys are still gonna see me going through the tutorial. I did a little bit of it yesterday. What do we have here? Oh, it didn't update my title. Alright, well let's see if we can go ahead and update that. And man, does it look pixely. What happened? Alright, well. Wow, what low quality. Oh yes, followers. Thank you very much for little yellow rose. And I didn't catch the other one. Live jokers. It also doesn't seem to be working. Well, it looks like I have to go to the dashboard and update. Because it still says I'm working on the Bangarang kitty, which is not correct here. So... Oh, I didn't hit the update button. Okay. Trying my hand at Kerbal. A rocket scientist is me. Update. Okay, let's see now if this will actually update in the browser. Still super new at this. This whole setup, not necessarily just streaming, but holy cow. And some other people are much better at getting all this to work right away. I obviously am not. Okay, so we've got Kerbal all set up, and we've got the I think I've got all my external stuff set up, so let's go ahead and give this a shot. Alright, to Kerbal we go. I need to get my windows all set up so I can see you guys while you're chatting. Okay. And my little Kirby's. But where did my thing go that tells me what to do with them? Whoa. Way too many clicks. Alright, well it looks like my options disappeared while I was flitting around in the settings, so I'm wondering if I have to restart it. Well, I got all that set up, and now I have to freaking restart the game because Kerbal decided to get weird. Now, yesterday I had the problem where when I moved the mouse outside of the play window, it wouldn't, you couldn't see it when it went back inside the play window. So, what are my options here? Resize. Yeah, I can't even change the... Well, that's annoying. Alright, closing Kerbal, restarting it from Steam again. That's really disappointing. I wonder if I'm supposed to play 64-bit. Well, I'm gonna launch the other one, since that's what the stream will pick up. I don't know if the stream will pick up the 64-bit, because I did not set it to do that. But, let's go ahead and try this out. Okay, little Kerbals are loading. You know, I'm wondering if they started changing quality of streamers based on if they get a lot of streaming done or not. I obviously have not been streaming a lot lately. And today I won't be able to stream. Well, actually, it's about 1:15 here. I need to pick up my roommates at the airport. So I'll have to probably leave. She said it'll be later. Their flight got delayed. Originally, I was supposed to leave around 5 to get them. Well, probably closer to 5:30. But there's some nor'easters going on. They're leaving from either Newark, New Jersey, or New York, New York, to get here. And I'm playing Cookie Clicker in the background because Kerbal is still loading. Yay! I got Comet the reindeer. But yeah, apparently there's some storms that are causing their flights to be delayed, so I am on call to pick them up, basically. Actually, I should find my phone. Make sure I have that available, because if I am streaming for however long, I don't want to miss their phone call. There it is. Ah, there we go. Now I even have the Kerbal music. That's good. Alright, so start game. And we'll go with my tutorial mode. Resume saved, yes. Continue save game. What? Didn't I not? Dang it! Oh, training. Because I just went to the training mode. It's not really saved. Alright, well, I guess I have to start all over from the beginning again. So I can skip through some of this, but not all of it. And I'm going to Cookie Clicker again. Alright, cool. Vessel construction. Werner von Kerman. Yes. Okay, I did read all this before. Vehicle assembly building. Alright. Alright, go to the pods. Yes, pod. Alright, next. Parachute. Bottom. I got that there. Okay, I'm gonna move this around a little. I'll have to hit shift to zoom in, that's right. Alright. Parachute configurable options. Need to right click on the... Alright, and this has to go up to 20. Or 0.20. And altitude, I raised that up to 2,000 yesterday, but I'll just leave it there because it doesn't tell me to do it. At least 1,000. Well, he said at least 1,000 meters. I'll go 1,500 today. Gonna need something to make us go. Click on the engines. And I need to zoom out a little or down. Next. Oh my gosh. You suck. You're an idiot. That's pretty much what he tells you. You're not as good as me. No, because I'm following your instructions. It's too powerful. So I gotta delete it. And a smaller one. Next. So I need to build the simplest survivable craft. Alright, but I need to deploy things at different times, so I need to add another stage. And it says it counts down, so I want engines first and then parachute. So that's the order that they need to go in. Okay, next. Drag the engine. Okay, did that. Now we have a safe, well, relatively safe craft that needs to go. Make sure if we need this done again, I have to build from scratch. I must not have saved this properly. Alright, so I think I called this Alpha. R Alpha. The first one. Actually, this is, well, the first one a second time. I need to figure out the rest of the Greek alphabet and then I can count down. Push the red button in the upper... Well, first I must save it. This is the part I had problems with yesterday because I couldn't save it. Well, see, I click save, but it doesn't seem to be asking me to save. New open save. Okay. Parts and techniques. Oh, cool. Oh, any vessels you create here will be lost when you exit just for playing around. Okay, well... So I guess I have to go back to training. Basic flight. Okay.
Connected.
I'm actually gonna post this because the person who got me to get Kerbal is in... No, I just want to open chat. Okay, and then we will disconnect.
Disconnected.
That was TeamSpeak, y'all. Okay. So... Yeah, this is really unfortunate, the quality here. I mean, quality wouldn't matter so much when I'm playing Hearthstone or World of Warcraft, but you guys can't even see the words on the screen. Alright, it says, welcome to the Kerbal Space Center launch facility. I'm Jean Kerman, and I will teach you the basics of piloting a spacecraft. I trust you've already checked the basic construction tutorial. If not, I recommend you do so before going through this one. Today we'll do a run-through of all the important controls for your spacecraft. Our little hopper from your basic construction lesson with Wernher may not have all of them, but we'll do a full run through once and see how it flies. If you're ready to go, press next. Flying a spacecraft is all about being in control of a generally very chaotic situation. As a pilot, your main flight controls will affect the pitch, yaw, and roll of the ship. Okay, I know pitch is... Oh, actually, I don't remember the difference between pitch and yaw. One is this way. One is this way. I think pitch is this way. This is yaw. And then I think roll is... maybe I don't know. Shoot. Let's look at all those first. All the other controls will be locked until they're needed or this tutorial is closed. Oh, okay. Yaw is this way. Roll is this way. No, that doesn't... I mean, I see it's an XYZ. Thank you, Blazing Glory, for that host. Pitch, yaw, and roll are the three directions you'll rotate your craft. Obviously, we're working in 3D space. So... Lieberstein, thank you for the host. Alright, so... Pitch, yaw, and roll. Gazela? Thank you for the host. I'm sorry I can't say your name very well. Alright. I feel like I need to have this mapped out like this. Okay. That's the same one. We've taken a holiday snap. Astro Pirate, thank you for the host. Holiday snap of the hopper below. So y'all looks like it's... Maybe I need to like build a little mini space thing so I can look at it. What do I have here? What can I use? This could be a spaceship. It's one of those spider triangles. Vengeance Inc. Thank you for the host. Alright, so this is me using my little spider tripod to make a spaceship. Alright, so yaw, I believe, is this way. Roll looks like this way. Pitch is this... Okay, pitch looks like this way. So pitch, yaw, roll. Pitch, yaw, roll. Pitch, pitch, yaw, roll. Pitch, yaw, roll. 1, 2... No. Okay. Okay. Oh god, this should not be this difficult. This is like freaking step 2. Alright. Pitch, 1. Yaw, 2. Roll, 3. Alright. You control your ship's rotation using these controls. S or W, pitch up or down. Okay. S and W, that kind of makes sense. Alright, that does. It's like your up, down. Okay. Like your ASD. Your A and D, okay, yaw. And your roll is like your strafe. Except it's definitely not this. Like you'd strafe, it's this. Pitch, yaw, and roll together, you can keep the ship in a controlled flight. Try it now and notice the indicator of the lower left side as you provide control input. Okay, so here is my pitch, yaw, roll meter, I guess. HDG, whatever that is. I'm at a 1 degree. Alright. Oh no, I'm down here. Okay, this is my pitch. Okay, S if I push S, which I would think is down, is actually... Okay, and roll. This is yaw. So, yaw this way. Yaw. Roll. Roll. Okay. I get the keys, and I get what they do. I mean, it's really nice that they have this control box down here. Putting them all together is going to be very, very difficult. Frez Killer, thank you for the hosting. Alright. Alright, yes. Well, throttle plus pitch, yaw, and roll are the main controls you'll need to master for a successful crash-free flight. We'll skip over the throttle control for now, as this vessel has no need for it. I saw when I was building it last night that there is no off button for the engine, so there's probably no throttle for it either. It's either on or off. We'll skip over the throttle as its vessel has no need for it. Don't worry, I'll explain it another time when it's of use. Remember that all these controls have a limited amount of effectiveness, so bigger, heavier ships will probably respond much more sluggishly to the controls than a small one. That's a good note. It's also good to keep in mind that as stages are separated from the ship, it'll become lighter, and this usually means easier to control. Let's look at the rest of the flight controls. Pitch, yaw, roll, pitch, no, pitch. Oh crap, I'm already lost. This is roll. That one's easy. Roll is easy. Pitch, yaw, pitch. See, when I think pitch and movement, I think of a ship, and the ship is going up and down on the waves, I'm guessing. So pitch, and then yaw. Of course, I think yawning, but that would be up and down. Yaw. Roll. Pitch. Pitch. Yaw. Yaw. Maybe I could be like nah. Yaw is like nah, or you shake your head from left to right. That's yaw. Pitch. Roll. Roll. Yaw. Pitch. Okay, I think that might have to be my mnemonics there. Alright. In flight, all the planning you put into the staging sequence of your ship comes into play. And over here they have, yes, okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The rockets go off. 0. The parachute goes off. Alright. From launch to final deployment of the descent parachute, you can control the activations of several of the ship's parts by activating the stages. Okay, so spacebar is launch and activate next stage. Notice the stage indicator in the lower left corner. It shows the currently active stage, which is, oh, it says stage 1. That's what we're talking about, stage 1. Since we haven't launched yet, it's showing the first stage is active. Oh, excuse me so much. I have your staging controls locked for now, so the stage indicator is glowing purple. One more thing on staging: if the staging setup is causing strife, or you change your mind about something, you can edit the stage sequence on the fly. Pun intended. No need to go back to the assembly facility. An important part of flying is knowing how your ship is oriented and where it's going. That's probably this blue thing here. That's why a good pilot's always aware of the ship's altitude, where it's pointing, and its velocity vector, where it's going. Okay? These aren't always in the same direction. As your skills improve, you should pick up on these. Yes. Like Mech Warrior. For all those, shout out Mech Warrior. Altitude and velocity vector, not the same thing. Or attitude, not altitude, attitude. Which way is attitude? I think attitude is the way you're facing versus your velocity vector. I could be looking this way and walking this way, and that's how you end up like walking into a wall. The big round instrument in the lower center of the screen is called the nav ball. I wonder if that's a real word. The device sums up most of the critical information. It's chilly in here. That's why I keep yawning. My body's like, it's cold. You need to go to sleep. Get under some blankets. Alright. Critical information needed for proper death-free flight. Here you see the ship's nose in relation to the horizon. When you're not pointing straight up, it's easily visible as a line between the blue sky and the brown ground. Horizon. As well as its heading, compass, bearing, and speed. You also get several icons that indicate things like your current velocity vector, but we'll have a look at those later. In the top center part of the screen, up here, ooh, hey, look at that. You have your altimeter, vertical speed indicator. So I'm guessing this is my altimeter. My vertical, okay, altimeter there. Vertical speed indicator, and atmosphere gauges. The altimeter will show the distance. I don't know why I keep yawning. This is insane. Mark 50192. Thank you for the host. Your vertical speed indicator shows how quickly your altitude is changing. When launching, it's considered best to keep this gauge pointing up. Yes. Okay. Does this mean my rocket is actually 74 meters tall? That's a very tall rocket for being as small as it looks in the facility. The atmosphere gauge. I don't know what's up with the yawning. Indicates how deep the ship is in the planet's atmosphere. This must mean very deep since we're on the ground, and this must mean it's closer to space, which is why it's black. The atmosphere gauge and atmosphere. This helps you know if the ship is high enough for orbiting without losing speed to air resistance, or judge how effective wings and control surfaces will be. Good. One last thing before we give this rocket the green light. In the staging stack, you can see the indicator for your parachute. This little guy. This indicator shows when the chute will be activated by staging, and you already know that, but the background will change color to indicate when it's safe to stage the parachute, and the foreground, the parachute bit of the icon itself, will change color depending on the parachute's state. Note, however, that by default, parachutes will not deploy when unsafe even if you stage them. The left three show safety, so it's a gray one, a brownish yellow one, and a red one. Safe, risky, unsafe to deploy. The chute is unstaged, white. While on the left three, safe, risky, unsafe, safe, risky, shoot, safe, risky, unsafe. The left three, 1, 2, 3, okay. The chute is unstaged, white, in the left three. Oh, in the left three, okay. The right three shows state after staging. Armed, deployed, and cut or shredded. When you are familiar with chute icon colors, we can move on. Okay. Safe, risky, unsafe. Staged, deployed, or armed, deployed, and shredded. Okay, enough talk. I'll unlock the flight controls, and you'll be clear for launch. Oh, jeez. Alright. Pitch. No. Pitch. Yaw. Roll. Alright. At any time you may press escape to pause the game. In the pause menu, you can restart the flight and the tutorial and return to the main menu. For now, get yourself prepared and hit space when ready to launch. Don't forget our hopper has only a solid rocket motor, so there's no throttle control. That's why we didn't review the throttle here. Make sure to fly in a nice high arc and enjoy the flight. Okay, I guess I just hit space. Okay, so I'm just mostly... Okay, as you go up, you can try practicing the controls with the pitch on roll. Also keep an eye on the parachute icon staging to see how safe it is for the current environment. For chutes, once it goes, it won't be ready until it's clear again, even if you stage it. Alright. I want to kind of go in a nice, he said go in an arc, so we'll arc ourselves a little. Alright. So I want to go into the water? I'd rather go into the water. Oops, and I went all the way around, so I want... Oh gosh, can I stop it? Oh no. Your solid motor's burned out. You're passing the high apopsis, and your speed is low enough it's safe to stage again. Deploy parachute now. Okay. We are deploying the parachute now. Except it's not... Oh, shoot. I have to watch the altimeter. I can only deploy it at 2,000 feet. Oh my god. Oh, meters. Meters? Feet? Shoot. You're armed with the parachute now. Wait for low enough and slow down for it to demonstrate. It'll do so automatically now. Oh, cool. I can't read it that fast. Alright, so we've deployed it, and it's coming down. And hopefully I land in the water, because that's kind of what I was aiming for. This is somewhat stressful. Why isn't it... It's like a weird, long, elongated... Alright, so I have 200 meters before I hit the... Oh, I am kind of a ways away from the spaceship. Or launch location. Alright. Splashdown! Oh, it's Valentina as my pilot. Okay. Can I talk to her? Alright, and they're fully deployed. Alright. At about 400 meters. Alright, and we're slowly... It says I'm like 6 meters away from the water. Alright, we're just kind of floating now. What's this line here? See that white, the yellowy line in the water? What is that? Alright. What is this? Green is safe. Alright, well. We are currently safe. Man, I'm playing with the pitch on roll a bit now. Oh, is that Valentina's view? That might be her view that I'm... Landed. Well done. You survived your first quick flight. When you're landed or splashing on Kerbal and not in training, you can point the mouse just above the altimeter and click the recover button. Okay. And asked to be picked up. I've unlocked the crew hatch, so if you feel like going out for a walk or swim, you can click on the EVA. They'll pop up when you mouse over. The portrait of the Kerbal you want to take for a walk. Okay, that's what I just did. You can do it for fun or just collect a surface sample. This concludes today's lesson. To exit training, you press escape. To access the pause menu and scenario. I hope to see you again about suborbital flighting, perhaps. Okay. Recover vessel, I guess? Space Center? Oh, pretty much exit's the only thing I can do. End the scenario. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do here is start a new one. Save name. Game mode, Sandbox Science Career. I have to manage all aspects of my space program. Funds, reputation, science are all active and contracts are available. Science mode, you must gather scientific data to research new technologies. Funds and reputations are disabled. Contracts are not available. Sandbox, all parts and features are available from the start. Free to play without constraints, but R&D and mission control. Oh, I think I still need to go through the tutorial. Because I haven't done any of that yet. Alright, so did that. Intermediate construction. Oh my goodness. I think my goal should just be to get one little rocket off the ground. Like in the career mode or whatever. Okay, so intermediate construction. Werner von Kerman covers how to design a craft. I feel like I should have a notebook and taking notes. I haven't quite gotten that far yet, but perhaps I need to grab a notebook. So we're gonna go on a break here. Let's see. Nope, not that. I don't actually have my break screen anymore. So we'll just proper Cloud. Thank you so much for the host. And I believe my image for this properties doesn't exist anymore, so we'll find a different image. We're doing a space one. I'm gonna use one from my I have a bunch of stock images. But we'll just use this one for now. This is a large image. I had no idea it was going to be this big. Oh my goodness. I just need to go get a notebook, y'all. And maybe use the restroom. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff good streamers already have set up and know how to use, and holy crap, why can't I find the bottom of this? Oh my goodness. Alright, let's go to properties here. Can I just like do fit to screen? Color opacity, check for file changes, color key. Oh my goodness. You know what, we'll just put in a different image. Okay. Delete. Alright, properties. I need to go take my own stock photography pictures. I just don't think I have anything. Oh, this is even better. Preview. Oh no, that is not what I wanted. Fit to screen. There we go. There, see what I mean? Much better image. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. notebook that I originally got for the job I moved out to California for, which I don't like how white, washed out I looked. Yeah, so I moved out to California for a job, and like I said, the notes from that job, as well as some other games. Good, I did start turning this into a gaming notebook, because that job basically can have light PTSD from a job. One of my friends was talking to me about it, and she's like, actually what you're describing sounds like PTSD. I was like, I mean, I didn't go fight in a war or anything, but apparently it could manifest in many different senses. So, Kerbal Space Program. Oh, come on. Pen doesn't want to write. There. Kerbal Space. And 2016, second to last day of 2016, yay. Alright, I need to remember stages. Count down backwards. Stages, deploy. Reverse numeric order. That's something I can see myself forgetting. Alright, intermediate construction. Oh yeah, the pitch, yaw, and roll. Pitch, yaw, roll. Roll seems self-explanatory. Pitch, up and down. Yaw, like gnaw, nah. Side to side. I got like little diagonal arrows going here. And roll, barrel roll. Around that way. So I hope those notes help me later on. Intermediate construction. Hello again. Glad you could come back. To get started, go ahead and enter the VAB, and I'll give you an overview of what we're building today. The Vehicle Assembly Building. Here we are again. Now to business. If you remember, in our last construction tutorial, we covered how to build a simple hopper, and then some of the basics of the construction area. In this tutorial, we'll expand your knowledge of some of the more useful features in the VAB, and we'll get to build a more complex craft that will be able to get us out of the atmosphere. To build our new design, let's start with the craft we built in the basic construction. Though this one is just called Hopper, this will save us a little time, and the accounting department's always happy when we save on time. Click on the Open button in the top right corner, and load Hopper, then remove the flea motor. So, open, Hopper, load, and then remove the flea motor. If you mess up, you can recreate the craft from the part list by placing a pod first, then a parachute. Note throughout this tutorial, I'll leave all the parts you need available to be placed. If you delete the craft file somehow, close the load dialog and open again, the craft will be back. Unlike last time, we won't be bringing the whole vessel back, so we can change our parachute stats from what we used before. Right-click on the parachute to verify its deployment altitude is set at 1,000 meters, like last time, yes. But also set the minimum pressure slider all the way to 0.75. Wow, okay. That's max. That corresponds to an altitude on Kerbal of about 2 kilometers and means a much shorter time hanging around during descent. I suppose as you go up, there's less pressure. Yeah, okay, yes. That's super low. First off, let's change the name of our craft and the description if you want, so that we still have our trash can special for later on. Simply change the name to something other than Hopper and we can proceed. Hopper, like, short shoot. Great. For this craft, we're going to give the ship some additional purpose by attaching a science experiment. Ooh, cool! We can run these experiments during our travels and get valuable science data for Kerbal kind. There are a number of science experiments to be performed, but at the moment we only have the mystery goo containment unit available. Switch the science tab to look at it. Boop. This is one of the most basic scientific experiments Kerbal scientists have devised, and one of the first things they want to try and understand better. I mean, they don't even know what color the goo is. So over here, the information, it's Fluid Dynamics Labs. The unit was something one of our engineers came upon while dumpster diving, while researching alternative applications for existing technologies. It's a sealed container which appears to be filled with a strange-looking substance. We couldn't reach in or break the canister open, but watching how the goo behaves when subjected to different situations could be very educational. Boop. And we'll just stick it there, I guess. Was I not supposed to put it on? Maybe I wasn't supposed to do that. Okay. Using symmetry. When you pick up a part, you'll see that it's designed to attach the sides of other parts, i.e. radially. If we attach only one of these, then during our flight, our craft will be unbalanced. One way to solve this is to add an extra goo container on the opposite side of the rocket so they balance. Luckily, we have a symmetry tool to help here. Alright, so we got a blue thing and a hexagonal thing. These buttons control symmetry, highlighted. Oh, cycle symmetry. Count, toggle, snap, okay. Stray bullets, thank you for the follow. Or, not the follow, the host. Got lots of hosts here, no follows today, but it's good to see that you got people hanging around a little bit. Alright, so... because I can't see these. The buttons control symmetry. Press the symmetry button or press the X key to cycle through available symmetry buttons. Oh, okay, cool. Alright, so different configurations. Set this to 2 times 2x and place a mystery goo unit on the side of the pod, so there's 2x. Oh, I can move that. Alright, I did not know I could move that. There we go. Except I think I may have put that on the hatch. We'll do that instead. And then we'll turn around here. And then move this back here because I kind of liked it in the corner. You'll notice the second one has been placed opposite the first by the symmetry tool. If you already placed a lone canister, pick it up, make sure symmetry is set, place it again so it has a duplicate on the other side, and place the canners near the nose of the pod. Okay, well. There. Place it at the nose. Next. Decoupling parts. If we add too many more parts here, the craft we are making will be too heavy to survive re-entry safely and too heavy to be slowed by our parachute, leading to sudden impact syndrome. So we'll need to add a decoupler below the pod. Decouplers can be found in the coupling tab. I was kind of wondering what couplers were when I was looking at this earlier. There, there. A hopefully small explosive charge that will sever the structural linkage between itself and whatever it's connected to. Handy arrows indicating which side will detach. So the top will detach off of this. Alright. Decouplers can find split the craft. We no longer need the lower parts. We won't be able to recover the discarded part, but at least our craft and our Kerbal will survive re-entry and landing. Decouplers can be used in many ways, but for now, let's just add one of these to the bottom of the pod. Note the stacked decouplers have arrows. The arrows show which side that decouples. Make sure your decoupler's arrow is pointing up towards the pod. It will be by default. Okay. You'll recall, I hope, that in the previous tutorial I had to adjust the staging stack when we added the engine to our earlier rocket. When you add a decoupler, the extra stage is automatically added to the stack, so any new parts below the decoupler won't be staged at the same time as the one above it. Still need to add another. Well, I haven't added an engine yet, so I can't add the engine to the staging process. So I need to take off, need to decouple them, and then I'll need to blow the chute. You can, of course, still move all these around, but hopefully this will save you some time as you go. If you ever want to return to this default staging setup, click Reset at the bottom of the staging stack. Excellent. This time we're going to use a liquid propellant rocket engine. Ooh. Thrust vectoring feature. Aimcraft control. These added mechanics, however, make for a slightly smaller and heavier engine in comparison with the other LV-T models. Unlike solid rocket motors, these engines don't carry their own propellants with them, so we need to add fuel tanks. Oh, jeez. Go to the fuel tanks tab. Alright, so I'm guessing I need to do this. Put that on there, and go to fuel tanks. Where are the tanks? Oh, there. It says we only 5 of them. So the only FLT 100s are available. This is another area like engines where advancement brings bigger and better parts. It's probably where the research section of the rest of the game comes in. We're gonna need 5 of these tanks to get us to space. Before you grab 5 tanks, though, we'll give you another tip. Because efficiency is my middle name, once you place the first tank on the rocket, you can duplicate by holding left Alt key and clicking on the tank. Do this on the bottom tank 3 times, get 5 attached without having to go back toolbar. Okay, add 5 to the, so I'm gonna move this off. Again, need the fuel tanks first. And it says left Alt. 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Okay. Looks like a cool little rocket there. Oh, because I added it and I wasn't supposed to add the rocket yet. Next. That's weird. Switch over to the engine tabs now, and the swivel engine you see here is obviously different from the flea we used before. This is a liquid engine needs and burns both liquid fuel and oxidizer. Funnily enough, that's what we just added to the rocket. Attach the swivel. Okay, I was going too fast. I was ahead of the game. Alright, we're almost there. You're doing fine. Maybe not as speedily, so my caliber, whatever. Okay, man, that's passive-aggressive insults there. The last thing we're gonna need to do is give this rocket better stability so it keeps going the way we want it to go. We'll achieve this by adding some fins near the bottom of the rocket. Aerodynamics tab. Basic fins. Bolt-on aluminum fins. Alright. Set the symmetry mode to 4 times. Alright. You can turn on angle snap by clicking the button next to the symmetry icon or by pressing C. This will help you align the fins neatly. Drop a basic fin. Okay. Did it not attach? Oh, it did. No. There's a fin. Okay, wait, okay. You'll see the other 3 counterparts will be placed as well, but they weren't placed. The bottom of the rocket? Like, oh, here, okay. I want them here. Oh, wait, that was way too many. 4. I want to remove these guys. There we go, 4. So it's really not on the, I mean, there's the rocket, the whole thing is a rocket, but he wants them on the fuel tanks. Actually, I want to move these up a little. I don't like where they landed. There. Alright. Excellent. Now we've got a rocket that will let us reach for the stars. Admittedly, I did say reach for. This is a basic rocket which can't achieve orbit. But on the bright side, it means re-entry will also be basic. You've done a great job in building a basic hopper and a sub-orbit capable rocket. However, you've learned a few things about how to build craft and how to use some of the shortcuts that are in here. Feel free to hang around a bit and try your hand at other things too, or perhaps you could look at the next lesson on suborbital flight, where we'll see just how well this rocket performs, or head over to the science tutorial, how to advance your career and unlock more parts. If you could show yourself out of the construction facility with the red button on top right, any vessels will be lost, blah blah, it's just playing around. Done. Okay, well, I kind of want to... Oh look, he unlocked everything. And the fin tab, basic fin, big S delta. Alright, well, we'll head out and continue. Save and continue. It said it wouldn't save it, but maybe it will. Alright, more training, y'all. More training. Suborbital flight. Jebediah Kerman. Okay, let's see. Glad you could make it back. Today we'll take an exciting step getting our first Kerbal into space. Yep, with a capital S. Hopefully you remember the controls we discussed. Yes? Alright, so... A, S, D... Oh, I can't do it right now. Shoot. In basic flight tutorial, don't forget you can always press escape and click the view key bindings button for a reminder. Odin 911 and Juval von Brocht, thank you so much for the host. Space Flight, don't forget you can always press escape. And SB Kings 1, thank you for the host. Alright, your mission today is to make a short suborbital, less than orbital, flight out over the water to the east. It's a nice path that ensures a gentle, survivable re-entry. Straight up, then straight down. It's... Straight up and straight down is not so good for survival. I've set up the pink target indicator on the nav ball. Okay. Here. Big Red 361, thank you for the host. I've set up the pink target indicator on the nav ball as aim point, but do note that is not the case for normal missions. The target marker is used for other things, does not help with ascents. Starting with the nose pointing straight up on the launch pad or 90 degrees elevation from the eastern home. Oh geez. Tilt east to 80 degrees elevation on the nav ball by 150 meters per second. Tilt east to 70 degrees on the nav ball. Oh my goodness. 70 degrees on the nav ball by 400 meters per second. Start at 250 meters per second. After burnout, coast up into space and have a look around. Prepare for re-entry. Lastly, re-enter and land safely. Once we reach burnout, run out of propellant, we'll have a bit more to discuss some other things. Alright, Dinky D 2016, sorry. Thank you for the host. And, alright, it's a lot of instructions. Tilt east. Where are my cardinal directions? So this is a throttle, footage. I mean, you're just giving me direction numbers, but you're not. I am not seeing a... Why are we starting at stage 2? So 2. Oh, right. 2. Decouple. Deploy. Okay. Throttle max. Throttle. Oh, now I have throttle. Unlike the hopper in our first lesson, this new craft has liquid fuel engines. This means we can throttle set the output of the ship's engine. Left shift. I feel like this is something. Okay. Left shift is throttle up. Left control, throttle down. Z is max, and X is cut off. Alright, well. So shift, up, 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 down, 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 max, off. Alright. Try try these out now. You'll see the indicator needle slide up and down along the graph on the lower left side of the nav ball. Okay. So that's our throttle. So we're down here. That's our shift, and that's our control, and that's our cutoff, and that's our max. Max and bring it down. Cut off and bring it up. Okay. SAS, Stability Augmentation System, although Kerbal astronauts usually refer to it as Sickness Avoidance Scheme. Oh my goodness. Whatever it stands for. Oh, itchy. Whatever it stands for, what it does is to try to stop the ship from spinning around using the computer-controlled auto-torque drive compensator. Alright, so basically to prevent you guys from head over heels. Technology to counteract the rotation of the ship. In the simplest mode, it will keep the ship aligned with the orientation it has when you turn SAS on, or if you pitch yaw roll while SAS is on, the entire orientation when you release the controls. SAS can be activated or deactivated by holding out F, and it can be toggled by pressing T. If you have problems of the following maneuvers, once you enable SAS and lift off, you can click the small red button to the left of the nav ball that has a miniature target indicator. Left of the nav ball. Target indicator? I don't see a red button on the left of the nav ball. Toggle nav ball frame. Oh gosh, no, I need that. Lower left of all the buttons. This thing? I don't see the button it's talking about. It might not appear till we take off. Follow target indicator and fly for you. Note this autopilot function will not be available until you are flying. Oh well. This craft has a bit too much engine, so we're going to throttle down for launch. Set your throttle to 2/3, which it kind of is. The upper of the two middle notches on the slider. 1, 2, okay, yeah, that's exactly where it is. Also turn on SAS to help control the things. Oh, okay. Stability assist. Normal radial orbit. Target, anti-target, radial in, anti-normal, I have no idea. Okay. Alright, next. During this lesson, some of the information is quite detailed and could take a while to read. As this is a short suborbital hop and I don't want you to miss anything important, I'll place warnings at the top of the page where you might want to pause the game to read. The warning will look like this: detailed info, press escape to pause if necessary. Okay, enough talk. I'll unlock the rest of the flight controls. Alright, so this is the pitch. King Alex 20, thank you for the host. Just pitch, yaw, roll. I think I'll avoid the roll for now, but pitch and yaw is what I'll use the most, because sort of the roll function can still be achieved with pitch and yaw as I'm falling. I enable target marker on the nav ball. Okay. Give it a look to make sure you see it, and let's get right to this. Okay, where is the... Oh, okay. Well, it's the pink thing. He says the target, and he says usually it's not that, so... Alright, start turning east. But that's my problem. Oh, heading, that's what that means, heading. I was trying to figure out what HDG was. Alright. I don't know where my compasses, like my cardinal directions are. So, I'm gonna guess something needs to be moving while I'm doing this, and it's not. I'm gonna assume this is north, but it could not be north. Oh, jeez. I That's numbers. It's 135. I feel like I need to actually go outside of the game and look up this, like the numbers. Alright, degrees and cardinal directions. Degrees, cardinal, there we go. Because I'm guessing maybe like 0. Okay, north is 0 and 360. East is 90. Okay, so I want to head to 90, which is over. Okay, good. I want to head. Yaw. Yaw 90. Okay, good. LPC. Okay. How do I move my camera a little? I can't. I move it down. But you're only seeing like part of my head sometimes. Okay. I think I'm ready to send this guy off. We have 50, 40, 50 start. And follow target marker to 80 degrees. 80 degrees. Looking good. Now let's try a little more aiming to get the 70-degree pitch line. Pitch line, pitch line, pitch is not that one. You can follow the marker as it moves there. There we go. Is that it? Excellent work. Throttle up. Got the rocket. We should be able to say this. Sticky keys. Really? No. I don't want sticky keys. Oops, look like you're not going to clear the atmosphere within the most margin. Press escape or choose your revert flight to try again. Crap. Stupid sticky keys. Reverting earlier stated. Revert to launch. Okay. Urgh, sticky keys. Alright. Why is my rocket, like, unstable? You see how it's moving? Okay, good. Jeez. That would be a terrible way to take off. Alright. Tilt east to 80 degrees. Elevation on the nav ball by 150. Start at 50. Tilt east. Let's see what I still do. Okay, so... Okay, it's everything we just did. Turn that on. Set the throttle to 2/3. There we go. Alright. So I gotta wait till we're going 50. There we go. Now I'm going to... I have to go to 90. No, 80, 80, 80, 80. Alright, we're at 80. We're at 80. Keep steady at 80. Alright. Now I get to pitch line 70. There we go. That's okay, now I got that. Up to speed. Full power. No sticky keys. Full power though. Good lord. Come on, as we get up to this higher speeds, you might start to see some heat effects, but we'll clear the atmosphere before it gets fast. Full course will reach stage burnout safely. Okay, wow. Alright, detailed information. Pausing the game. You succeeded in getting your ship on a trajectory bound for space. I've now set your target indicator to align with your velocity vector that will minimize drag by turning the smallest side of the vehicle into the airflow. Okay, so the point... Somewhere around here you'll see nav ball speed indicator auto switch from surface to orbit, accompanied by the speed number jumping. Go ahead and switch it back to surface mode by clicking out till it says surface again. You might have noticed some flickering flames near the end of our burn there. Yes, I did. Which is due to the high speed of your craft in the atmosphere. Normally our ascent would be a little slower, but I'm sure my friend Wernher has helped you build a ship that can withstand this heat. Great. Besides this high and this low, you'll be fine. If you want to have a look at your trajectory, you can switch to the map M and have a look at your... Just come back to flight mode again. Okay, so escape, resume flight. Next. Now we're coasting away to apoapsis, that's highest point. We got a little time to chat. Once you clear the atmosphere, we'll do what you can do in space. Okay. Alright. space. It still says I'm at surface. Orbit. Okay. And it says I'm supposed to click it till it says surface. Alright. I am in space. Oh my gosh, my Kerbal space thing, I've gotten out in space. Okay, now. Is it even moving? According to this, it is. Alright, so I've put it into the target thing there. Trying to keep it there. Stay on target. No, 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 no. Not that way. Here we go. Stop bouncing. Just stay. Alright, well, Jebediah Kerman seems happy here. He's not burning up to pieces like I heard can happen. Okay, what we do in space. While we float up here beyond the atmosphere, I'll quickly tell you about a couple things you can do. With an advanced enough astronaut complex in the KSC, Darth Vader Z, thank you for the host. We can train our Kerbals to be able to spacewalk, or EVA, although we won't be doing that on this flight. Also, when we're carrying science devices like our goo containers, we can perform experiments. Feel free to play with the goo canisters now by right-clicking on them. If you know when it's time for the next... Or I'll let you know when it's time for the next phase. Okay, crew hatch. Crew hatch. No, not crew hatch. Canister? Mystery goo. Observe mystery goo. Alright. They have clumped into a sphere. It also appears to become brittle. Inoperable after transmitting data. Size, recovery. Can I transmit data? 0% science value. Reset experiment. Okay, whoa. Boop. Detailed stuff. As we near the edge of the atmosphere again, it's time to reorient the pod to get ready for re-entry. Oh my goodness, I'm so far off of that. Dang it. I'm only going to re-enter with the pod and chute and goo canisters. We're not going to decouple yet. In real missions, it's best to keep your upper stage around the last moment. You never know when you might need it. Anyway, it's best to reorient. It's best to re-enter bottom first, and since we ascended about 70 degrees pitch, we'll naturally re-enter at about negative 70 degrees pitch. This means you want to aim to the top of the capsule at the 70 degree pitch line, but the opposite heading. That's a heading of 270 on the nav ball and 70 degrees pitch. Oh, jeez. I've placed the target mark there to help you see where this lies. Turn SAS off, change your attitude, then turn it back on again. I'm going to reset the experiment. And crew hatch, observe. Mystery goo. Observe it. Oh. Yeah, I'll cancel. We'll just... Oh, alright, I want to cancel. I want to get out of here. Alright, resume flight. Pokemon Master Audi, thank you for the host. Okay, now, how do I get out of the goo thing? Resume flight. Okay, we'll just reset it. Now, turn SAS off and fix... Oh gosh. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Now it's time to get rid of the booster since it's weighing us down. Stage to discard the unneeded parts and mass. Except I'm not there anymore. I forgot to turn the SAS back on when I got to where I needed to go. Boom. Alright. Okay, and ready for the next stage. Boom. Whoa! Okay, much more responsive. Holy crap, responsive. Alright. You're now re-entering Kerbin's atmosphere. Make sure to keep all hands and feet inside the pod at all times. We don't want you getting burnt or anything. Don't mind the flames. Werner is a world-famous rocket scientist, after all, and he built this ship to withstand them. Last time, we watched the parachute icon to wait for the right time to open the chute. This time, we're going to do something a little different. Remember, in the construction where you designed this vessel, you set the chute to not semi-deploy until 0.75 atmospheres of pressure. That means the chute won't perform the first of its 2 deployment steps until then, even if you activate it by staging now. 0.75 atmospheres means about 2,000 meters altitude above sea level, and the craft should be traveling slowly enough by then that the chute will survive deployment. Let's take the bold step of arming the chute now and let the smarts in there pop it at the right altitude. You know you can trust me. Stays the chute now by pressing spacebar. Resume flight. Spacebar. And we'll turn the SAS back on. There we go. And so the opening height, second or full is correct. You can adjust these parameters during flight. So right click on this parachute now. Don't touch the pressure slider. Bad things will happen. Make sure you fully deploy. Altitude is not less than, or not. Once you're satisfied, just hang on. I'm already satisfied. I don't want to change it. Once you look at the bottom of the capsule, note you do not have a heat shield. You don't need one because it's such a gentle flight. A heat shield would make things more dangerous on this craft because the additional mass would be pushing the limits of this model of parachute. Okay, resume flight. We are at warp 1, heading into the atmosphere. I believe we're heading in the atmosphere. 736. Okay. Alright, so it's armed and it's dangerous to deploy right now. Okay, but he said I could change the altitude. But we're good now. Cool. That's actually pretty neat. Alright, well at least alright, my little Kerbal's happy down there in the corner. Jebediah. I'm guessing I almost always want to land in the water. But that's just from my atmosphere. And deploy. Oh my god, deploy. Why did I explode? No, what happened? Why didn't it deploy? I had it set for... No! Alright, so I'm finishing it. Why did it... It says it's not responding. What happened to my game? Jebediah was so happy. Alright, I'm going to revert to my launch. We're going to try this again. I don't know what I did wrong. Apparently I was supposed to change something with the parachute. Alright, Woggle and Frez Killer and Jay is back. Thank you guys all for the host. We're going to try this this launch again. Same stuff, but maybe keeping my dude alive. Alright, turn this on. Put my throttle up here. Oh, I can't change that with that. I need to use the fucking sticky keys. I'm gonna like throttle. Oh no. Did sticky keys just... Oh my god. How do I turn it off? There, good. It turned itself off. Holy crap. Alright. Alright, stage 1. Here we go. Target marker at 80 degrees. Here we go. Alright, and then the pitch needs to change to 70 degrees. Morningstar, thank you for the host. I'm gonna try and get my little Jebediah Kerman down here back. Splash down safely. Alright, full power. Shoot. There we go. Full power. No, I do not want to. Alright. Some flickering flames. Okay, next. Now that we're coasting our way to the atmosphere. Oh. Crew hatch. Observe the mystery goo. seems to be getting very cold. Alright. Like 0. Okay, I don't want to do anything. Keep experiment. Oh, orbit, I want surface. Target, orbit. Did I just change the target? Nope, going the wrong way. Alright, and we'll keep the SAS. Alright, while we float up here beyond the atmosphere, a couple things you can do. With an advanced enough astronaut, you could have him walk, do science stuff. Feel free to play with the science stuff, it says. I've already done as much as I want to do with the science stuff. Alright, we'll let the SAS do its thing. At some point I have to reorient myself to get back in the atmosphere. Oops. Stay as close to that as possible. I think I need to change my parachute. And he had me have it at altitude 2000. I think that's what I failed at last time. So, parachute. Okay. Well, I don't know if that does. Shoot. Alright. Hold up here. Whoa, we are so far beyond where we need to be. Oops. Sorry about that camera shake, guys. Okay. 70 degrees, heading of 270 makes the marker. Great. Okay. Resume flight. Alright. Said to turn it off again, then turn it back on, which is what I just did. Keeping this somewhat steady as we return. Hold steady and a new attitude. Let SAS do it. We're about ready to hit the re-entry point. Stage discard the unneeded parts. Boom. Alright. You're now re-entering. Make sure, last time we watched the parachute icon, pressures on Kerbal means about 2,000. Craft should be traveling slowly enough. Alright, so yeah, I did not change it to 2,000 meters. I did this time. So, it's risky to deploy the chute. I don't want to do that yet. Hopefully it'll automatically deploy when it becomes safe. Stage the chute. Alright, so I've staged it. Around 2K, alright. Hang on till about 2,000. While waiting, while looking at the bottom of the capsule, notice you do not have a heat shield. You don't need one. Okay, I do remember seeing that. Oh, why is it turning so much? SAS should probably be on. That might be... So that with the parachute may have been why I failed last time. Alright, Jebediah seems to be okay still. There we go. I have to get that. Right. 12,000. Alright, it's... Why aren't you deploying? You're safe. Because you're not supposed to... Okay, you won't deploy until we get to 2,000. If we hit... I'm ready hovering over here over this button. 7,000. I do not want this dude to die. 1,000. There we go. It deployed. Good. Good, good, good. Looking great so far. Now enjoy a leisurely float down to the surface. Okay. Good. Six meters per second, and I'm only about 800 meters off the ground. Oh, my Jebediah is still alive. Yes. Alright. Ruth9115, thank you for the host. I am currently enjoying a leisurely float down to the surface. And Nitrox4, also thank you for the host. My little Kerbal here is doing okay. It's doing okay. Man, this takes a long time. We got 500 meters left to go. I mean, I know I can adjust the time. I saw that somewhere. So apparently our rocket launch really only lasted like 8 minutes. I wonder how often this happens in real life. We get, launches, they go off. Perhaps rocket launches are probably happening all the time. They only last like 10 minutes. You go up in the outer atmosphere, you come back down. You go up in the outer atmosphere, you come down. Although I don't know if I would want to jump from 250 meters out of a falling thing, like, into water. That still is really far. I mean, as far as feet goes, that's 750 feet. It's a fifth of a mile. Ugh. Well, not quite a fifth of a mile. It's like a sixth of a mile. 100 meters. So we're going 5 meters per second, so this can take another 12 seconds. 3, 6, sorry, I can't count. I'm doing my math. Alright, welcome back. Completing and surviving your first real mission, yay! Manage to launch control, orient, and land safely. If you want to practice this again, choose revert from launch. Otherwise, end the scenario. Be sure to check out the other tutorials. Next one is going for orbit. Alright, yeah, we're gonna go. At some point I want to do something that actually saves my progress. I want to do like one of those science experiments that actually sends more than 0% of useful scientific data. We're gonna recover the vessel here. Apparently it won't let me do it. I do have to exit, I guess. End scenario. I don't want to end it, but I will. And more training! More training! Wait, that was suborbital flight. I don't want to go advanced constructions. I'm just going to go in order. Oh gosh, so much. Alright. Start advanced construction. I do need to get a better holder for my camera. It's too close. You guys can't really see. Like when I start going, ooh, at the screen, you can't see me because I get cut off. But if I have the camera any lower, it actually blocks my screen. Advanced construction. Welcome to the third and final tutorial about construction, the advanced construction tutorial. I've had to delay some important work today to fit this in, so pay close attention as I show you how a real rocket scientist makes orbital craft. In our last tutorial, we built a vessel that could escape the atmosphere but didn't have enough oomph to escape for long. This time around, we'll cover more advanced rocket design concepts like multiple stages and boosters, as well as extra parts like RCS and solar panels. You'll want these if you spend more than a few minutes in orbit. When we're done, you'll have a craft capable of ascent to orbit, orbital operations, and a safe return to Kerbin, and you can test it out in the Go for Orbit tutorial, which will teach you how to make use of it all. You notice there are lots more parts available this time. Still only one pod. That's because orbit-capable craft is much more complex than the little puddle jumper I showed you how to make last time. However, the main principles are the same, so I hope you remember what I taught you. If you mess up and say somehow manage to delete your whole craft, you can hit Ctrl Z to undo your last change. Again, you only have one pod available, so go ahead and select it. Boop. If you select the wrong part, click on it and either drop it back over the parts toolbox or press delete and try again. Select the parachute and place it. Pods, utility, parachute. Only one parachute. Parameters. Machinima 5000. Thank you for the host. Alright. Minimum pressure is 0.75 and you're satisfied. Click next. Yeah, that minimum pressure and that altitude is going to go to 2000. Alright. We're now going to construct an upper stage. Ooh. This upper stage will finish placing the pod in orbit, and once there, provide RCS. I'm guessing that's like a stabilization thing again. Steering thrusters. Electricity. Also maneuvering capability in orbit, including re-entry burn. I need a decoupler. We don't want to carry it home. An RCS fuel tank, a liquid fuel tank, 4 thrusters, 4 solar panels, 4 batteries, efficient upper stage. It's quite the shopping list, so let me know when you're ready to proceed. Add a stack decoupler below the pod. So the little red arrows is pointing up to make sure the decoupler is oriented the right way. If the arrows are pointing down, that's not good. Detach from the pod, then use WASD to rotate it the right way and reattach it. The arrows are pointing up, that's good. An RCS tank, reaction control system, thank you. This fuel will help us with fine maneuvers. Tanks, and the FLR-25 RCS fuel tank. Is not going to need all the mono propellant in the tank, so save some weight, right click it, and get the parts option slider down to 100 units. Okay. We'll be adding multiple liquid fuel tanks in the stage to get the right amount for the upper stage engine. We need an extra tank to offset the weight of the RCS. Tiny rocket propellant tank. And then a medium. Ooh, what just happened? There we go. Hello, derpy Chilean. El Casa Bombardero. I'm trying to send, rockets into space. I killed my first Kerbal and then saved him the second time. Lastly, for the main part of this upper stage, we'll add an engine. The Terrier engine produces almost no thrust at sea level air pressure, but is highly efficient in space and above 20 kilometers, where the atmosphere is thin enough not to interfere with the exhaust. This makes it a good choice for an upper stage, since the engine will not be activated until the rocket has received I took a little bit of Spanish. I have alright pronunciation. I'm just really I'm not very practiced in listening to Spanish speakers because you guys speak really fast. Okay, makes a good choice for an upper stage. Engine will not be activated until the rocket has reached conditions where this kind of engine works well. If you select the wrong engine, you can always throw it away and try again. Add a Terrier. Alright, added it. That's a pretty well assembled upper stage, if I do say so myself. This guy is so insulting sometimes. While we have the reasonably simple vessel here, let's explore one of the other useful tools we have available. To make sure your ship flies controllably, some parts need to be placed carefully around a point inside the ship called the center of mass. The COM is a spot where the mass on one side is balanced by the mass on the other side. Thrust applied through the COM will cause the ship to move without unwanted rotation, while thrust properly applied around the COM will cause the ship to rotate without moving. COM is a useful and important thing we add to a tool, so the assembly building can show you with the marker. Let's have a look at how the indicator works. Okay, so it's down here. Center of mass overlay, center of thrust overlay, and aerodynamic overlay. Alright, so we're highlighting it. Our center of mass is right in the center. That's good, right? Oh, it tells us what's just the fuel levels in some of the tanks and see how that affects the center of mass. Right click on each fuel tanks and drag the fuel and oxidizer propellant levels to 0. Don't touch the monopropellant levels. Alright, oh, that's the wrong one. Liquid fuel, oxidizer. Okay, so I'll put this down to 30, I guess? Or 27, and then this down to 33. And that didn't really change it much. Zandarion, thank you for the host. How a success in KSP. Add as many rockets as possible. This is my first time going around with it. I'm trying to make it through all the. Okay, so the less I go, the higher that center of mass goes. All right. Okay. I want to put more fuel back in these tanks. I don't want it to. It's such a small tank that. Okay. The Squishy, thank you for the auto host also. Alright, down to 0. Don't touch the monopropellant levels, they won't be burnt by the Terrier engines. As you're doing this, you'll see the COM move during flight. Okay, I did it. Why are you all. Shoot, why does it want me to. What do you want from me, Van? What's your face? You'll see the COM move the same way it burns the fuel until the tanks are empty. Oh, down to 0. That's why you want it down to 0. Everything has to go to 0, which is kind of dumb. Oh, because we want to see where the mass is going to be when it's empty. Okay, next. Okay, refill the tanks. Oh, jeez. That was kind of a dumb. I mean, I get the exercise, but. Okay. Add some of the accessories to our upper stage. They'll transform it from merely something that gets us into orbit to something that helps us when we're there. Alright, jeez. Now that you know where the center mass is, when the stage is full and when it's empty, you have the information you need to place the RCS thrusters. They're found in the command and control category. Thrusters. Moving the spaceship without rotating is called translation. This is a useful kind of maneuver for several reasons, including docking. In order for translation with RCS to avoid unwanted rotation, you need to balance the thrusters around it so the net sum of forces is balanced right on this natural pivot point. For 2 equal sets of thrusters, each set should be equidistant from the COM, and a single set, what we're doing here, should be right around the COM itself. What makes this complicated is that the COM changes during flight, as you just saw, so you need to place the thrusters at a compromise point between the wet COM and the dry COM. Note that in career mode games, RCS thrusters don't become available till fairly late. In the meantime, the reaction wheel capability built into your command pod will probably be enough for turning in space, though the reaction wheels will not allow you to translate. Right, okay, so we're talking about 3 different game modes. Right now I'm just in like training mode. But they are available. Let's turn on the angle snap to make aligning the thruster parts easier. Do the click toggle snap icon, pressing the C. We have 4x symmetry turned on, and blocks. A tiny rocket propellant tank is just about the right place to attach these. Yeah. Alright. If you don't get the place point right, you can also use the offset gizmo. That's fine, I think. don't get to play. Make sure you turn the angle snap off. You want fine adjustment for that, and snap turned on. Adjustments or anything fine. Click the offset mode icon in the upper left-hand corner. Rotate, reroute, toggle snap. How do I know if I got them right or not? Alright, drag one of the axis indicators if you want to reset the space. I don't like how, okay. The tiny rocket propellant tank is about the right place to attach these. I'll have to detach each piece individually. But the tiny rocket propellant tank is this one. Oh, when you're all done, turn it off. Oh, okay, well, there. Lots of things on the craft use electric charge. That's what us cool scientists call rocket electricity. In order to keep your batteries topped up, you'll need a way of generating power. Now, some engines generate electricity while they're running, but you don't want to keep your engine running in orbit. Your orbit will get all kinds of messed up, and you'll run out of propellant. Our command pod has some batteries built into it, but be safe, you can add more batteries, and you can add solar panels. We're going to do both. Alright. Switch to electric category, angle snap in 4 times mode, electrical. We'll use our part rotation skills to adjust the panels before placing them. Okay, grab the O stat, which is these guys. Press A to rotate at 90 degrees, then click to place a set of them. I'm guessing I did not. Oh. Hold it over the lower edge of the fuel tanks is where you want them. You can barely hear me. Okay, that's good to know. Let's go ahead and turn this up. Alright, turned it up again. Is this better? El Casa Bombadero. Alright, oh, I'll set a road 90 degrees. Click to place a set of them. The lower edge of the fuel tanks. Oh, I lost my, there's my solar panel. I want them here. Z100 batteries between the solar panels. Alright, cool. Upper stage complete. Excellent work. You've built a nice starter upper stage, which will do well for some orbital exploration. Now we need to work on getting it up into orbit, and for that we'll build our lower stage. In comparison to the upper stage, it's quite simple. Just a couple of tanks and an engine. That won't be enough alone, however, so we'll add some boosters too. Add another TR-18A stack decoupler on the bottom of the Terrier. Couplers. Alright. Go down. Hello, Yusef Gamer TV 44. Thank you for joining as you watch me learn how to build a rocket. We'll need this during our ascent to discard the empty parts of the vessel below. And notice how when you add the decoupler, a fairing is placed around the engine. This will get jettisoned automatically when we stage the decoupler. Okay. Now we need to add the fuel tanks for our lower stage. We need the FL-T400. That's this big one. Boom. Add 2 of them. Okay. What was that I needed to click? Right click it. Shift left click. There we go. 2. It's a big rocket we're making. For our lower stage, we need an engine that is a sustainer that burns from liftoff until well after the boosters